Hey readers, welcome back. Ms. Haas here. Thank you for joining me in another session of Reading Workshop. So today I want to start off by reminding you of our Readers of Historical Fiction chart. Here are all the lessons we have been working on so far. You guys have done a great job. And I want to remind you of our last session where we were determining themes and supporting them with evidence from across the text. Readers, you did a great job of finding a theme for Bud Not Buddy. Now today we're going to take that initial work that we started off with, and we are going to be working on revisions. So follow me as I read our teaching point. Readers, reread the text to revise themes by asking, does this support the theme I developed? Is this idea making me think something new? Our academic vocabulary is theme or lesson and central message. These words mean the same thing. And we have the word revision. I know that we know this word from Writing Workshop. When we're working on drafting, we're always thinking of revisions that we can make to get that draft ready for publishing. And when we are revising, we are rethinking. We are changing our ideas by taking some parts out or by adding some parts in. So this visual here always helps me to remember what revision work is. I'm writing something and then I'm thinking about how that might be changing, how I might be revising my thinking. So what are we trying to achieve today? We want to revisit that theme that we worked on in our last session, and we want to revise our thinking by adding more or changing it. Now readers, I want to share in a secret with you. This revision work that we're doing today is something that you're going to have to do for the rest of our lives, and really, it's something that will be important for you when you go to middle school, when you go to high school, and especially when you go to college. We're always working on revisiting text and working on revising ideas. So it's very important that we take this work seriously. Readers, I'm ready to show you how I would do this work. So the theme that I thought about in our last session was that in life, although things might seem difficult, you should still have hope. Now, when I was reading chapter 6 of Bud Not Buddy yesterday, I came up with this part and I thought, you know what? This is really making me rethink my initial theme. When I read it, I was thinking, does this really support the theme that I developed? And I thought, not really. It's kind of changing. Is this idea making me think something new? And it did. So watch me as I reread it and show you this thinking work. He said, but nothing. Lines closed. These here folks are the last ones. It was time to start lying. If I didn't get any food now, I'll have to steal something out of someone's garbage, or I wouldn't be able to eat until the mission opened for supper. So in this part, Bud is waiting outside of a soup kitchen. He's trying to get some food. I said, sir, The man raised his hand and said, look kid, everybody's got a story, and everybody knows the rules. The line closes at 7 o'clock. How's it fair to these people who've been here since 5 o'clock that you can sleep until? He looked at his wristwatch. Until 7:15. Then come buzzing down here expecting to eat. You think you got some kind of special privilege just because you're skinny and raggedy? Look in that line. There's lots of folks who look just like you. You ain't the worst. Wow. I've noticed how this adult's treating Bud pretty terribly. Let me keep reading. Supper starts at 6 p.m. But you see how things is. If you plan on getting fed, you better be in line by 4. Now get out of here before I get rough with you. Get rough with you? Is he thinking about beating Bud? Because I know that's something that Bud has a lot of experience with, and that would be pretty terrible. Shucks, being hungry for a whole day is as bad as it can get. I said, Bud! Oh, he's really fighting. He reached in his pocket and pulled something out that looked like a heavy black strap and slapped it across his head. Uh-oh, here we go again. He said, that's it, no more talk. You open your mouth one time too many. You rotten kids today don't listen to no one. But I'ma show you something that'll improve your hearing. He slapped the strap on his hand and started walking toward me. Oh my goodness. To readers, at this point I was thinking, wow, Bud is going through this again. Another adult is ready to hurt him. But then I continued reading and I found this part. A very tall, square-shaped man in old blue overalls looked down at me and said, Clarence, what took you so long? I got ready to say, my name's not Clarence, and please don't choke me, sir. I'll leave. But as soon as I opened my mouth, he gave my head a shake and said, I told you to hurry back now. Where you been? He gave me a shove and said, "Get back in line with your mama." I looked up and down the line to see who was supposed to be my mama when a woman pointed her finger at her feet and said, "Clarence, you get over here right now." There were 2 little kids hanging onto her skirt. I walked over to where she was and she gave me a good hard smack on the head. Shucks, for someone who was just pretending to be my mama, she sure did slap me a good one. I said, "Ow!" The big square man who grabbed my neck looked at the man with the strap and said, "Boy had to go use the capper." Told him not to waste time, but like you said, these kids today don't listen to nobody. The strap man looked at the size of the man who called me Clarence and walked away to the end of the line. So it seems to me like this Clarence person is really saving Bud from being beaten, and he's trying to get him to actually get a meal for the day. So he's actually treating him with kindness. He's actually helping him out. So readers, now I want to go back to our teaching point and I want to ask myself those questions. Does this support the theme that I developed? And in a way it does. Although it might seem difficult, you should still have hope because this part shows us that it was really difficult for Bud at first dealing with the man with the strap, but he had hope and then Clarence came in and saved him. But now I'm also asking myself, is this idea making me think something new? And it does. It's making me think not just about finding difficult situations and having hope, but it's also making me think about the people coming in and out of Bud's life. He's had a lot of experiences with that. His mom was in his life and she went out. Then we have these foster people, parents who are coming into his life, and it all seems like really terrible people that he's dealing with, but in a way he still has hope to find someone to help him. He's trying to look for his father this whole time. And then it's also making me think that Clarence is a person that's coming in to help him. So I'm thinking that I'm ready to revise my theme. Readers, I'm going to use these thought prompts for generating quick writes to help me revise my initial theme. So here's my theme. In life, although things might seem difficult, you should still have hope. So I think one of the sentence starters that's going to help me with this work is "on the surface," because initially I thought about this theme, but now I'm adding more. So I am going to use this sentence starter to help me. So I'm going to write, "On the surface, this is the story of," or I'm going to say "this story." It's okay to change up your the sentence starters to help you with your thinking. So on the surface, this story is about not giving up hope. This story is about not giving up hope. Now I'm gonna write, but I think it is really a story about having hope in people, in the people you meet. So I'm going to say, for example, Bud has had terrible luck with people treating him poorly, like the Amoses. But in this scene, we meet Clarence. No, his name is not Clarence. We meet a person who tries to help Bud out. Another idea to support this is that Bud is trying to find his father because he has hope in finding someone who will treat him right. Wow, readers, so I started with this simple idea and I grew it into something much more complicated and complex by using these sentence starters to help me. I want you guys to try this work today. Readers, did you notice how I reread the text to revise my theme by asking myself, does this support the theme I developed? Is this idea making me think something new? So I want you guys to try this work. Find the theme that you developed on Tuesday and think about, how can I revise this theme? you can use these thought prompts. So go ahead and get that theme out now. You can pause the video to get it and help you start thinking about how you might revise it. Readers, in this lesson we worked on revising themes. Now this is what you are going to do next. You are going to reread Chapter 7 of But Not Buddy from this morning. And as you read, you are going to think about the way that you can revise the theme that you came up with on Tuesday. Use the prompts to help you make revisions. Add text evidence from more than one part of the text, just like you saw me modeling. And for stepping up the rigor, if you're completely done and you're ready for a challenge, you can write a review for But Not Buddy. Tell us, do you recommend the book? Why not? Good luck and great work today. See you soon.